So it is now 1:01 p.m. Eastern Time. So let's go ahead and get started. And then anybody else who joins, they'll be able to see the recording that we post on our YouTube channel. Make sure to check those out. Hit that like and subscribe button while you're there. And thank you for helping us extend our reach. So it looks like Allie joined us. Allie, you want to say hi?
Hi, everyone. My name's Ali Essian. I am the head of partnership success for MGT. And we are very excited that you're here today and taking some time with us. Look forward to working closely with you all.
Oh, and I've stalled long enough. We've got Jason on as well. Jason, thanks so much for joining us. If you want to say hi to everybody.
Hi everybody.
Perfect.
Sorry, I'm not like Dan, you always we are working from home today. I feel like I gotta justify this. We are working from home today because it is a snowy blizzard. I at least have my MGT shirt on. I feel like I look like a rat in comparison to Dan, who is just like your outfit is on fire, man. It's fantastic. I'm really glad to see everybody today. That's all.
I told you I was going to bring the sparkles. So I wanted to put this on for anyone who missed it because this will be a very special weekly Wednesday webinar where you'll get to see our brand new quoting, binding, and servicing platform. I think this is going to be really fun. So that's the good part. Before we jump into that, let's talk a little bit about MGT, who we are. We are the world's first neo insurer. What does that mean? Nobody really knows because that's how it goes when you do something first. Um, I would say kind of think about it in comparison to the rest of the industry. You've got your legacy carriers. Some of them have been in business for 400 years. They do amazing things, right? Like they've been keeping the world economy rolling for the last 400 years. We have nothing at all against what they're doing. We're not necessarily looking to like disrupt or change the way underwriting happens. But, when you have that kind of longevity and that scale, it can be tough to make changes, right? Like if you want to update your policy servicing platform, if you have an error that causes issues for 1% of your policies, that could be a absolutely huge number of businesses that now have trouble with their insurance. You also have your insure techs. These organizations tend to be wholesalers or MGAs, fronting companies, MGUs. You'll see all kinds of different arrangements, and they've basically figured out how to put a nice layer of technology on top of that legacy experience. And so, they really are making things easier in a lot of ways, but what I've always found is once you stray off of that kind of happy path, things can get pretty tough. Enter MGT. We are the actual carrier, so we are standing behind the risks that we're underwriting through our platform. And when you need to quote, bind, issue, service, renew, have questions about an account, and you're communicating with us, you're communicating directly with the carrier that is backing that policy. We're really built from the ground up on modern technology, which lets us deliver to you and to our policyholders just a better, easier experience where the things that should be easy actually really are easy. And so that's what we're all about, giving you some time back in your day, giving you some bandwidth back in your day to not just work on the small commercial accounts, which we love and we really want to help you out with, but to do all the other important things that come your way. Now, as far as appetite goes, we are very focused on small businesses. We're writing somewhere between 250 to 300 classes of business. I would say easiest way to think about it is if you imagine yourself driving to the grocery store, a lot of the businesses you'd pass by on the side of the road are the kind of businesses that would fit well with us. And we do write grocery stores too. So when you get there, work up a quick quote when you walk in. We're a great fit for professional and medical offices. We do a lot of different retail store classes. We'll write wholesalers and distributors, most of the same goods. We do service businesses. We'll write your restaurants, convenience stores, liquor stores, again, grocery stores, coffee shops, bakeries. So pretty good variety of risks. And what a lot of agents that I talk to really like is that our appetite is pretty consistent from class to class, industry to industry. So it makes it really easy to just intuitively understand, will this risk be worth quoting with MGT? Um, what does that look like? Generally, we'll write up to 3 million in revenues. We do go up to 5 million revenues for professional and medical offices. We'll write up to 2 million total insured value in property per location with up to 4 locations per policy. We write new ventures. We write businesses with claims histories, coverage lapses, no prior coverage. So we do write some of those tougher cases that might come your way as well as the nice, easy ones. So definitely keep us in mind, even if it's not the most perfect risk that any underwriters ever looked at. Now, let me go ahead and share my screen with you.
And while you're firing that up, Dan, I'll just go ahead and remind everybody what I put in chat. Please feel free to ask any questions. We're happy to answer them live. I will do my best to interrupt and make Dan stumble over himself just for the more entertainment purposes as we go through this.
Bring it
No,
on.
seriously, yeah, Dan is a brilliant man about all of our coverages and different things. So ask all the questions that you need to, and we'll get them answered live.
That's right, not just a pretty face. All right, so let me get the screen share fired up. We are going to start our journey today at mgtinsurance.com. I always like to start here so that I can highlight A, how pretty and amazing this website looks. So make sure Jason and Allie let Sean know I talked about how great the website is, even when he's not online. Um, then we'll click into the BOP Appetite tab. If you're going to bookmark one page on here that's not the platform, bookmark this page. Great way to stay up to date with our appetite because it is constantly growing. And let me tell you, it is going to be growing really fast in 2026 as well. To help you stay up to date with those changes, you can always download a current, accurate, up-to-date appetite guide right here. And then we do have an AI chatbot named Amy, who's also here to assist you 24/7, 365 with any appetite questions you might have. You can say something like, can you write a sandwich shop in Boulder? And I always like to do these as an example because sandwich shop, not necessarily a class in itself, and Boulder could be a lot of different places. Amy is going to let you know that yes, we can write delicatessens because Amy knows that's what a sandwich shop is. Amy knows that Boulder is probably referring to Boulder, Colorado. And she's also going to give you some guidance about just some of the high level important details to know to be able to get that quote back so that before you even log in, you can kind of start to get that file straightened out. Um, has a lot of really cool stuff like can you write a barber shop with some uh let's see that serves bourbon. So I always like to try and trip her up. And if you manage to, please let us know because we're always training her to be just a little bit smarter, a little bit better. Um, and so I think this is really cool, right? Like she knows that, yes, we can actually provide coverage for barbershops and including when they have some alcohol sales. So now that we have talked a little bit about that, we'll click sign in, and that's where we'll start the quoting process. Now, if you are following along on another screen and you click sign in, that's going to take you to the current version of our platform, which does look different. I'm very confident, though. Anybody on this call will still be able to navigate that. Let me give you just a little insight into what things will be looking like for you. Probably in the next somewhere between 2 and 4 weeks. When you sign in, you'll have the option to start a quote, easily add other users to your team, and again, go back to that appetite page. We think it's so important. We wanted to keep it front and center for you. Now, I will really highlight this user management page. I would recommend adding anyone in your team who might need to access the platform with their own individual credentials. The way we're set up is you'll be able to see all the activity from your team within the platform, so it makes it easy to collaborate. And having everybody set up with their own credentials, just more secure. It's a little bit easier. Like if there's a staff change, you don't have to like change everything about your account. So there's a lot of benefits to having it set up that way, and I always recommend that. And then before we jump into start a quote, I will point out we have a policies tab. My demo account has not bound anything yet, so this tab's empty. I'm sure for you though, it'll just be a matter of days before we start to fill this tab out. You can also manage quotes that you've been working on. And then again, you've got that user management page where you can easily add new users to your agency. So let's start out a quote. And I'm going to do something a little bit dangerous in the demo world. If anybody has, say, a favorite barber shop, favorite restaurant that they like to go to, hit me with the name and the city and state that it's in, and let's see if we can quote them right now together.
While we're, I have a fallback if we need one. Surely we got somebody in the office that's got something on their desk that they'd love us to test a quote with. Yeah, you got a couple
Yeah,
on the
we have.
Oh,
desk.
all right. We got a couple. Oh, Peri Peri Factory. This little known fact about me, love Peri Peri chicken. So let's see if we can get a quote for the Peri Peri Factory. So found them right here in Houston. We'll click continue. Now, in our new platform, we're doing a lot of really cool stuff behind the scenes. Once we click that button, we're contacting somewhere around 3,900 different data vendors to find all the information that we can about this business. And that's what's happening right now as that little loading bar gets closer and closer to being full. And that's going to start to find a lot of information about the business. Now, it's not always going to be perfect. It's not always going to fill out everything for every business. It is something, though, that we will constantly be working on, so it's getting better and better. And generally, we're pulling from data vendors where we have at least a 90% accuracy rating. So it should be pretty solid. Let's see. I don't know if barbecue is necessarily the best class for peri peri. Maybe I would do like a fast food.
Which is a really important thing to be pointing out about the new system, right? So I'm on their website right now and I can see where we would gather barbecue from. But Dan's absolutely right. Like maybe it's a better framed as just a traditional casual restaurant, casual or fine dining. Yep. So always double check this stuff because we use a lot of third party, we use a lot of AI, we use all kinds of stuff to get you the best answer possible. But you as the agent, we know, you know, you're the one who knows all of it the best between you and the insured. So yeah. I'm looking at the
Absolutely.
website though. It looks good.
And, and and we do have a quick question that I think we can answer quickly. Does MGT offer coverage for equipment rental companies?
That would be a little bit outside of our wheelhouse, but really appreciate you asking about that. So we've got a few questions about the Peri Peri factory, and you can see here, most of these have a pre-filled answer. Now, like Jason said, always double check, make sure that's accurate. I like to say trust but verify. And so then we'll just continue through, knows the year it was established, entity type, not a home-based business, rough guess on number of employees, and then we'll click continue again. Got the estimated gross annual sales. We'll say in this case, there are no other additional insureds that we need. If you do need to add those, though, just click yes, and then there'll be a few follow-up questions. And now it's going to pull some location details for us. So all this is really set up to make your life a little bit easier so that you can still work with these risks, help those businesses in your community but we want to give you back that extra bandwidth so you can focus, more of your time on selling insurance and all the other important things that you do every day. So we're going to confirm that address. And then for this one, we'll run this as a contents only. I'll just make a quick guess on the square footage. Got 100,000 business personal property here. And we'll say yes, it is framed with automatic sprinkler coverage, and we'll click continue again. If we needed to add any additional buildings, we just click this add item button here, and then we'll click continue, confirm that's correct, and we will not opt out of TRIA coverage. And boom, just like that, we've already got a quote in the works. Looks like we've got a couple other appetite questions, and I love these appetite questions. Please keep them coming. How about dog treats sold on Amazon and website only? Let me get back to you on that one, James. I'm not sure that'd be a perfect fit, but I also don't want to just say no. So let me take a look with our underwriting team on a risk like that and see if we might be able to make that fit. And then Farhan asks, do we cover hookah lounges and car dealers? Those are going to be a little bit outside of our appetite.
The agents are writing the hard ones today.
I know. I love
We,
it.
like Dan said, we got hundreds of classes. But yeah, as you all know, hookah lounges, car dealers, those are pretty tough because you have to have some very specialized, particularly with car dealers, you have to have some very specialized coverages that we just haven't developed yet. But those kind of recommendations are incredibly helpful because we are always looking where we want to grow next. Dan, we had a couple more come in. Can you write landlords for multiple rental properties?
So landlords LRO will be a little bit outside of our appetite, but I would encourage you stay tuned and definitely keep that appetite page bookmarked because that story will be changing in the next, hopefully 6 months or so.
Yeah, and so that you also know, we have an ENS product that we sell currently exclusively through AmWins. So if you have access to AmWins, you will have access to the MGT ENS product, and you can actually place LROs through that. So you can look to get some coverage in the ENS market for through MGT as well. We had another one come up. How often are quotes sent to the underwriter for review?
That's a really good question, Amanda. Generally, we see about 80% what we would call straight through processing. There's going to be some variation from day to day, but that's been a pretty solid number. So about 4 in 5 quotes will instant quote for you. Out of the remaining like 1 in 5, some of those do refer, some automatically decline because they are just outside of our appetite. I think generally maybe 10% are referring because of the way we're built, right? Like you're seeing all this data that we're looking up on the risk. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. We tend to return referrals back same day, maybe next day, just depending. I'd say within 24 hours just to be safe. And then Thomas asks childcare operations and after school programs. That's also going to be a little bit outside of our appetite. But these are all great questions. I appreciate everybody really trying to find that bullseye. Oh man, just getting so many good ones coming in. Don has got a historic building built in 1904. It's been totally revamped. Good news, Don, is MGT does not have a maximum age of construction. So it looks like they have been totally revamped and updated, maybe a gut reno. That would potentially be a pretty good fit with us, and I would encourage you to go through and submit that risk through our platform. And so back to the demo. You can see here we've gotten a quote back. From here, it's going to be pretty straightforward. We have a policy effective date. That's going to be basically automatically set to the like furthest out that quote would be effective. So just make sure if they're ready to bind, you make sure that effective date is accurate. You can see here we've got a summary of just some of the details like their GL limits, sales, BPP limits. We can go through here and set all these different sublimits and deductibles. The way the platform is designed, it will only show you bindable options. So we're only going to give you terms that you can stand behind. You can keep scrolling down. You'll see some additional optional coverages and sublimits here. Set our property deductibles. You've got the equipment breakdown limits, all this good stuff right here at your fingertips. Once you make any changes or updates, it should automatically update the premium as you go. And then once we're ready to bind, we'll just click continue to bind. We'll enter in some information about the policyholder, confirm that application is accurate and complete, and then we'll click confirm and send to the insured. They're going to receive an email just saying, hey, your policy is ready to be bound. Here's how you can make payment. And as soon as they make that payment, that policy gets bound. Um, so with that, you'll get the receipt. We'll send a receipt over to the policyholder, so everybody is in the loop that this policy has been bound. And then within about 60 to 90 seconds, you'll have access to all the documents in the platform as well. So if you have somebody who needs a certificate of insurance or needs to see the deck page, you can shoot it over to them. And then you can see here, it always takes a little bit longer with my narration. But luckily for you all, that feature is not built into the platform. We went through and started a quote, bound it, issued it in less than 10 minutes. And so that really is what MGT is all about. That's how we're using technology and kind of the most up-to-date, most technologically advanced partners to find some of those data points and just make this process so much faster for everybody.
Dan, you might want to answer this one live. Amanda asked, my agency mostly does construction. What is your availability for operations like roofing? And maybe speak to the contractor classes we're planning on adding, maybe.
Yeah. So for contractors, we are going to be adding them pretty soon. Actually, once this new platform is available to you, that should be a pretty fast follow to add contractors. But we are a standard market carrier. Roofing probably not going to be in the appetite so much. But I would say definitely keep us in mind for things like your landscapers, painters, plumbers, electricians, those types of contractors, the trades, the artisans, they should be a really good fit for us.
And we probably won't do any GCs.
Yeah, I think GCs, remodelers, handymen, they probably will be a little bit outside of our target.
I will say though, contractors are ones that we're looking at adding to the ENS platform next year as well. So I can't make any promises on specifics or when, but those are the kind of things that fit better in the ENS market, and you'll have an MGT offering in that space as well. These are really good questions though, y'all.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Keep them coming.
we'll keep the floor open if anybody has any additional questions. Please keep them coming.
It looks
And
like Amanda's got a couple on the way. So yeah, as you all can hear, we've got a lot of stuff that we're very excited about. And we always try to balance it out between like, hey, what's coming? Here's what we're energetic about, and what it is that we already have. And you can see that a big focus of ours at the end of 2025 here has been a complete overhaul of our online tech system. We had a really great platform that we were using already, but now we're pulling in even more data vendors. We're utilizing some different AI engines in order to provide you with such a quick experience, as you saw, because we were just answering questions as Dan went through it in a matter of moments. It does not take long to fill this out, but we like to still leave that window for you all. many of us on this, actually all of us on this call have a background in some insure tech space, and we've had the experience to know what it's like to do 100% straight through processing or where almost everything goes to referral. And I really love what it is that MGT is doing, where the vast majority is straight through processing. So you and your insureds can know an answer, get a policy really quickly. But if it lies outside of that, perfect little box, we still leave a window open where I sit in Denver next to several underwriters on a day-to-day basis. So you reach out to our team and we can bug them and say like, hey, we got questions about this. Would you be willing to consider it outside of the appetite? So that's what I really love that we're doing at MGT. Beyond the fact that it's our paper, we have full control over the underwriting of this. We got one from Don, hotels, motels.
So hotels, motels also going to be a little bit outside of our wheelhouse. We are again just focused on kind of small businesses that are a good fit with like an admitted BOP. But we do get a ton of requests for hotels and motels, so stay tuned because we know that we're not going to build the best insurance company in the world on our own. It's really going to come through that engagement with our partners like you. And so these questions do help us kind of see where the interest is, where the opportunity is in the market as we start to make plans and continue to expand our appetite.
Yeah, and I will say that habitational is on the list for review next year. So as a distribution team, we're very excited about the fact that we've got LROs and HAB up for potential review in the admitted space. I would encourage you all that it's going to be very similar to how it is that we view convenience stores with gas currently, where we are probably going to be pretty restrictive. So we love the fact that agents try to get placement with us on a regular basis. And we love that we've built up a relationship and our agents understand that like not everything is going to fit in the admitted market. But the fact that we're able to offer something that very few admitted markets do has been a huge benefit to our partners so far. So we're looking to repeat the same with LRO and HAB in 2026. Cool. Also, I think I misunderstood what Amanda was saying. She said she has a couple of admitted markets writing roofing right now. So Amanda, I would love if I could connect with you. I'll share my email address in the chats, but then I'll also share Dan and Allie's if that's okay. So that you guys can reach out to us anytime you need anything at all.
Yep. And a gas station C-store certainly could be a good fit. If it's brand new, that's even better. And I would definitely encourage you, Don, to go through and submit that one through the platform.
Yeah, and
And
so
we have a minimum of 3,000 square feet, though. Just keep that in mind before anything smaller will knock it out of appetite.
yeah, and so the reason for that, y'all, is because we do not actually write gas stations. We write convenience stores that sell gas, and the NAICS, the NAICS code, differentiates those two by having 3,000 square feet in the convenience store itself. So that's why it is that we have that restriction. It's based off of following the NAICS codes, and we're not filed for gas stations, but we are filed for convenience stores that also sell gas. So it's a very important distinction that trips up a lot of our agents from time to time. We've got it in all of our different guidelines. You'll find it as you go through, but folks are always wondering why that is the case. And there's the answer. Okay, there's all of our email addresses. I think the questions have pretty well died off. You want to close this out, Dan?
Yeah, so this has been a really great session. One of my favorites. Don't tell all the other agents I said that. Really appreciate you all taking some time for us. One question that didn't come up that I do get pretty frequently is what does MGT stand for? And this afternoon, I think it stood for Mighty Good Time. So I hope you all had one too. Thanks again for taking some time for us, and we are really excited to be working with you.
Thank you,
Great
guys.
day.
Appreciate you.